Today we're covering filing status determination, a fundamental concept you must master for the enrolled agent exam. Your filing status is based on your marital situation and other facts on the last day of the tax year, December 31st. The exam will try to trick you with dates. If a couple marries on December 30th, they are considered married for the entire year. If they divorce on December 31st, they are considered unmarried for the entire year. Let's start with the simplest status, single. This is the default for unmarried individuals who do not qualify for another status. Now for the married statuses. Married filing jointly combines both spouses' income and deductions. It usually provides the most favorable tax rates. Married filing separately is for married couples who choose to file separate returns. This is almost always a wrong answer on the exam, unless a specific scenario forces it, such as a spouse not wanting to be liable for the other's tax obligations. The exam will present MFS as an option to see if you know it generally results in a higher tax liability and loss of certain credits. The real complexity and where the exam focuses is on head of household and qualifying surviving spouse. To claim head of household, a taxpayer must be unmarried or considered unmarried on the last day of the year. They must also pay for more than half the cost of keeping up a home for the year. Finally, a qualifying person must have lived with the taxpayer in that home for more than half the year, except for temporary absences. A common trap involves a qualifying relative who is not a child, like a parent. A taxpayer may be able to claim head of household status because of a parent they support, even if the parent does not live with them, provided the taxpayer pays more than half the cost of the parent's home, such as an assisted living facility. For a qualifying surviving spouse, think of it as a 2-year extension of married filing jointly status after a spouse's death. The surviving spouse must remain unmarried and must have a dependent child, stepchild, or adopted child living with them for the entire year. The year of death, the taxpayer can still file as married filing jointly. The 2 years after the year of death, they can file as qualifying surviving spouse. For instance, if a spouse dies in 2023, the survivor can file MFJ for 2023, and then QSS for 2024 and 2025, assuming all other conditions are met. A key mnemonic for head of household is you've got to HUG your kids. H is for half, as in you paid more than half the cost of the home. U is for unmarried or considered unmarried. G is for got a qualifying person who lived with you for more than half the year. Remember this, and you can navigate the complex scenarios the exam will throw at you. One final trick is the considered unmarried rule for head of household. This applies to a married person if their spouse did not live in the home for the last 6 months of the year. They paid more than half the cost of the home, and the home was the main home of their dependent child. The exam loves to test this specific exception.